name is Barry Allen, and I am the fastest man alive. When I was a child, I saw my mother killed by something impossible. My father went to prison for her murder. Then an accident made me the impossible. To the outside world, I'm an ordinary forensic scientist, but secretly, I use my speed to fight crime and find others like me. And one day, I'll find who killed my mother and get justice for my father. I am the Flash.
I just finished season 1 of The Flash last night, and if you've seen that episode, the finale, oh god, if you've seen that episode, you know that I cried a lot. I don't have a reaction to it. I'm sorry. And again, these are spoilers. If you haven't seen the show, please stop watching this video because I'm going to literally spoil everything. So you have been warned. I was not going to be watching this show. I don't know. I felt like it was a bit corny. So yeah, I was really afraid to watch The Flash. Like I haven't watched any of these CW shows or anything like that. Like I really just like these darker shows, I guess. So I was worried, but I'm so happy I watched it because I love it. I really love this show so much. And I want to just go through kind of an overview of what I like, my favorite episode and my thoughts on it. You might be wondering why I didn't make any reaction videos to The Flash. Number one, I want to watch some shows on my own. I don't want to have to film myself every single time I watch a show. Like I won't do that. I don't have time for it. Plus, when I really enjoy a show, I binge watch. Like I finished the first season in like 2 days, 3 days. I don't know. Like I will watch as much as I can and just get no sleep. And like I said, I really enjoyed this show, and so I could not stop. So there was like no way. But I was like, you know what? I'm gonna film my reaction for the finale, but I couldn't. I had to watch it, and I wish I filmed myself. Well, actually, I don't, because I was a mess. I was crying, But yeah, I'm gonna go through. So we have Grant Gustin, who plays the Flash. He's perfect for this character. He plays it very well. He's really dorky, adorable. He's just kind of clumsy-ish. I don't know. He plays like a nerd very well. We kind of start off with his mom has been murdered by this guy in yellow. His dad is framed for the murder of his mother, and then we see him 15 years later, and he's lived with his neighbor Joe, who is a detective, and then the detective's daughter Iris. I just love the dynamic. I love the unrequited love aspect. We've all been there, we've all felt that, and so it's really interesting to kind of see them be together. I really loved Joe West's character. I love his dynamic with Barry Allen, and like how he is that father figure for him. Like, their relationship throughout the whole show is just really believable. You could tell, like you see how close they are, and like almost as if they really did live together for 15 years, So when they show Eddie for the first time, when he catches the mugger who steals Iris's bag, and I was just like, ugh, I hate guys like that. Like he's so into himself. So then we get the Star Labs particle accelerator explosion, which goes off and kills people and turns them into metahumans. It's interesting to see the origins of how Barry Allen becomes the Flash. He wakes up from the coma. He's been in 9 months, and we meet Caitlin Snow and Cisco Ramon and Dr. Harrison Wells. So I forgot to add this in for some reason, but I really love Harrison Wells' character. He really stole the show for me, one of my favorites, but like he was evil, so I couldn't like him, I guess, but he's really attractive too, by the way. Tom Cavanaugh, I've always had a crush on him, and he still looks good. But yeah, just my 2 cents on his character. I loved him. It was a very interesting group of people, which again, I was like, oh, don't be corny and cringy. And at first it was a little bit, but then you start to get used to it, and like, I fell in love with Cisco. I loved his character, I love Caitlin. I just love everyone's like dynamic and just friendship, and it's just so, there's some really funny parts, and like Cisco is so funny all the time. It just like always has something to say. After he wakes up from the coma, he sees that Iris and Eddie are together. I just want to kind of speed through because I just want to, I don't need a whole overview. But basically, so Eddie, I really liked Eddie's character. I was surprised. I really was like, oh, he's annoying. He's so into himself. He's like the jock. Basically, Eddie, you know, he's funny. He's kind of ditzy. He's kind of clumsy, but he's also brave. And for the whole season, the first season, I was just like, I really want Barry and Iris to get together. Like, that has to happen. But then the more that Eddie and Iris were together, and the more that they were in love, and like just their relationship was blossoming, I was like, but I really like them together. How are they going to break up? Like, what's gonna happen? Like, is he gonna die? Is Iris gonna die? So is all that. I also really like Ronnie's character, who's played by Robbie Amell, because who doesn't? Because he's beautiful. He's also a really good actor. I liked him in the movie The Duff. I'm just going to get into my favorite episode, which was episode 15, Out of Time. Super emotional, super amazing. Then Cisco ends up finding out that Dr. Wells is the Reverse Flash, and he ends up getting killed. And I was like, no way, like, that's like one of my favorite characters. I was so confused. I was like, well, what's gonna happen now? And I thought, well, Caitlin is probably going to get killed too. And Barry Allen finally shows Iris that he's the Flash. And the way they did that was so perfectly done. And it was just so romantic. And then they both kiss and they both like love each other and blah, blah, blah. It was just like, wow, this is awesome, but yet we lost Cisco, so I don't know. And then he's running and running and running, and he runs so fast that he goes through time, and he goes back like a day, or the same day, back to the beginning of the day. And so I was like, oh, thank God Cisco's not gonna die. It was really interesting just how they did that. So we'll get to the finale, and what I thought of the finale. It was great. Very beautiful episode, very emotional. We've seen Barry's dad in prison, and how he's been in there this whole time, and he's an innocent man. We've seen this thing of Barry wanting to go back and let his mom live, but it's still like this bittersweet thing, because it's like, well, everything will change. Like, do we really want to save his mom? We don't know the outcome of changing the past, but the butterfly effect type deal, like something's going to happen. We see Dr. Wells, who is, I guess, related to Eddie Thawne. Barry he goes right back to the night that his mom was murdered. He shuts the door and he's crying because he hears his mom being murdered, and he knows. And so he goes out there and he says his goodbyes, and tells her, like, I'm okay, I grew up, this is me. And so it was just so emotional, and then we get him where he comes back and he like punches the Reverse Flash, and everyone's like, but what happened? You didn't change time. Reverse Flash is like, you're not gonna live. I'm going to kill you, and then I'm going to kill everybody you love, like Joe and Iris and all of his friends. Anyways, even though I kind of knew that Eddie was probably gonna die, especially because they put a lot of emphasis on him being very important and like a coincidence of all of this. And then you hear the gunshot, and at first I was thinking Joe shot the Reverse Flash, and then you turn around and you see Eddie shoots himself in the heart, and like it's so embarrassing. It's not because it's not on camera, but I was just like, no. Just the tears of like, it was bad. I thought I was crying about the Barry Allen and his mom scene. No, that Eddie dying crushed me. Even though I had a feeling it was going to happen, that scene was so heart-wrenching. It just sucks because his character is so good and so fun and funny, and like, and then Joe running over and like, Eddie's like partner. That was so sad. And then Iris, and then them having to leave because there's the black hole that just kind of comes about. It ends kind of on a cliffhanger of the Flash trying to stop this black hole from pretty much causing the world to be sucked up or whatever, the Earth. And so yeah, it was a very great show. I enjoyed it. We had the Arrow come in. I loved his cameos. Whole kind of fun show with meta humans or superheroes, whatever you want to call them. I enjoyed it. I love this season, and I will be watching the second half. If you want to see certain episodes of season 2 being filmed, like my reaction to it, just let me know what episode and I'll try to get that out. But I'm not going to do every single episode. I just can't. I'll do the finale for sure. I'll definitely make sure I do it. Oh, I'm so in love with this whole show. Let me know what episodes you want me to, you would like to see me react to in the second half. Don't tell me what happens. I know, please, no spoilers. I want to watch the show without having spoil. If you guys spoil it for me, I will not react to it. I'm just gonna watch it. I'm not gonna react to the second half. But please, just tell me if there's like don't tell me the moments, but just I'll know that, okay, something happens in this episode that probably you might want to see my reaction to, if that makes sense. So anyways, thank you so much for watching, and again, if you haven't seen it, go watch the show, and give me some suggestions of what you'd like to see for episodes of the second season. So anyways, thanks for watching. Bye guys.